He doesn't take sides. He doesn't fight in wars. He just kills monsters, takes his coin, and moves on. Geralt of Rivia calls himself neutral. But what does that really mean? Is it a shield for survival or a simple Witcher code? And the bigger question is, was Geralt ever truly neutral? From the very beginning, Geralt presents neutrality as part of his identity. He's a Witcher, a mutant made to slay monsters for coin, not politics. He doesn't fight wars, doesn't join rebellions, doesn't care who sits on the throne, or so he says. But neutrality isn't as simple as walking away. In Blood of Elves, when war looms across the continent, Geralt insists, "I'll not die for someone else's cause." It sounds noble, almost stoic. But can anyone truly stand apart when the world around them burns? Is neutrality possible in a world built on choices? The short answer is, not really. Even refusing to choose is still a choice, and Sapkowski makes sure we see the cost of that. Geralt's philosophy is best summed up in the phrase, "Evil is evil."
Evil is evil. Lesser, greater, middling, makes no difference.
Come fit me!
Bring her down. Do it my way.
You like that, you bitch?
Get the hammer. Kick her teeth in.
The degree is arbitrary, the definition's blurred. If I'm to choose between one evil and another, I'd rather not choose at all.
He says it in The Last Wish when confronted with the choice between aiding Stregobor or Renfri, both morally tainted options. He refuses to pick the so-called lesser evil, because doing so would make him a complicit. That moment defines him. But let's ask something uncomfortable. When Geralt refused to choose, did he truly stay neutral, or did he simply abandon responsibility? Because his refusal didn't stop tragedy. It didn't save lives. His neutrality left a town full of corpses and earned him the name the Butcher of the Blaviken. So neutrality here isn't clean or noble. It's a wound. It's the first time Sapkowski shows us that not choosing still shapes the world, often in ways more violent than action would have. Why does Geralt cling into this principle so tightly? Because neutrality is his armor, or so-called Witcher code. It's how he protects himself from a world that never wanted him. Witchers were made to hunt monsters, not arbitrate human morality. They were created through brutal experiments, stripped of family and nation, and taught that their only loyalty was to the contract, not to the crown, the church, or the mob. Neutrality kept them alive and, more importantly, useful. But this raises another question. Is neutrality still moral when it becomes a way to survive, not a choice of consciousness? Geralt's neutrality isn't pure idealism. It's fear of being used, fear of being betrayed, fear of choosing the side only to discover both are corrupt, fear of evil itself. And when you live surrounded by kings, mages, and monsters in human skin, that fear makes sense. Across Blood of Elves and Baptism of Fire, we start to see Geralt's neutrality fracture. He travels through the world at war, pretending to be uninvolved, yet every decision he makes is drenched in politics. Protecting Ciri, for example, is already a political act, regardless of his intentions. Yes, he is just protecting his daughter and doesn't care about the politics, but the child of elder blood isn't just a girl. She's a claim to thrones, a symbol of power, and every empire wants her. Geralt insists he only wants to protect her because he loves her, but love itself is a choice that takes sides. He can't claim to be neutral while fighting soldiers, elves, or defying kings. So can love and neutrality coexist? The answer is, in Geralt's world, no. The moment he decided that one life, Ciri's life, matters more than the rest, He stepped out of the path of neutrality. Some fans and critics don't see Geralt's neutrality as something noble. They argue that refusing to choose sides in the face of oppression is a moral failure, that inaction only helps the powerful. And Sapkowski often hints at this. Witchers are feared not just because they are mutants, but because they refuse to stand for anything. When people suffer, Witchers collect their coins and move on. That coldness, that detachment, it's part of what turns the world against them. But there is another side to it. Sometimes neutrality is compassion, at least in Geralt's eyes. When humans and non-humans slaughtered each other over prejudice, he refused to amplify the hatred. He sees both sides as victims of their own fears. In that sense, neutrality is an attempt at mercy, a refusal to add more blood to an already overflowing river. So, which is it? Cowardice or compassion? The Witcher's saga never answers clearly, because that's the point. Neutrality is both. It's survival wrapped in ethics, and ethics poisoned by survival. Now we reach the heart of the question. Was Geralt ever truly neutral? From the moment he saves the cursed princess in The Last Wish, he chooses compassion over profit. When he refuses to kill a sentient monster, he chooses empathy over duty. When he takes Ciri as his child of destiny, he chooses family over detachment. Every act of kindness, every spark of emotion, every moment of love breaks his neutrality, because neutrality is not absence of feelings, it's the denial of it. And Geralt, for all his stoicism, is one of the most deeply feeling characters in modern fantasy. He tries to be neutral, but his actions betray him. He fights to protect the innocent. He defends outcasts. He risks himself for the people who will never pay him back. That's not neutrality, that's reluctant heroism. So maybe the real lesson isn't that neutrality has a price, but that it's a myth. A comforting story told to oneself to survive in a cruel world. By baptism of fire, Geralt is no longer even pretending to be neutral. He's leading a band of outlaws through a war zone to find Ciri. He's fighting soldiers, monsters, and moral exhaustion. Every step he takes is a choice, and every choice drags him deeper and deeper into war he once swore to ignore. And that's Sapkowski's brilliance. He shows that in a world consumed by chaos, neutrality is a luxury only the detached can afford. And Geralt is no longer detached. He cares too much. So what is the price of neutrality, really? It's the loss of connection to people, to purpose, to meaning. Geralt's neutrality isolated him from humanity, but the moment he abandons it, he finds a family, Yennefer, Ciri, and even his ragtag friends. Neutrality protects him from pain, but it also protects him from love. And when he finally lets that go, he becomes more human than ever. In the end, neutrality isn't peace, it's silence. And silence in face of evil is just another kind of evil. The world will always demand choices, and refusing to choose only means someone else will choose for you. Geralt may have started as a monster hunter who claimed to be neutral, but he ended as something far rare. A man who finally understood that sometimes, to stay human, you have to take sides.